ahead and start with an opening comment, and then we will open it up for questions.
At the last game of our home stand, 3 games in a row, which hadn't happened in a while for me, but it was good to get out on top. Obviously it wasn't pretty at times, but had the ability to get out and get a win in college football, which is never easy. So, and then now we're on to, I think, number 12. Is it number 12, UCA?
That number 7 now.
Number 7 in the country, yeah. So excited for the opportunity.
Obviously, the offense flat the first half, down 10-0. What did you talk about at halftime? What adjustments did you make to come out and finally get points?
Well, we got behind the sticks a bunch because of penalties, which has not been kind to us in the first half for sure. And, we had to clean some of those things up in the second half. But, we talked about more direct handoffs to Griffin and Moore and, less read plays. And, we had the opportunity to pound it behind the big guys up front and the tight ends. And, I think that was always that's the biggest difference for us, being able to pound the football.
2-part question. A, the performance of Jacoby and the status of Lamar.
Robert should be good to go this week. I mean, he was ready for an emergency last week, but just wasn't quite, didn't practice enough. He was ready to go physically, he just didn't practice enough. So, the plan is to go back with Rob. That's our starter, and Gino will play, in some situations for us.
My final one for now is defense. Let's talk about how well they played.
I think in spurts we played really well. I think we, and then in spurts we did not play well, and I think that's kind of evident with some missed tackles and some things like that. The one place on the field you can't be flat is defense. Sometimes you can be flat on offense and make a big play and everything gets ignited. I think, defensively we got to play with a little bit more spirit in the first half. But I think overall they played a pretty good game and, held them under 20 points, which, that usually is the barometer for wins. So I think we're everything that happened is fixable. So that's what we have to work on.
2 guys that contributed a lot during the last win, Gino and Kalen Griffin, are guys that have been here for a long time. How valuable is it to have guys who have been in those situations here in Beaumont, been with the program for a while? Just can you speak to that a little bit, how valuable that type of guy is?
Yeah, the problem is they haven't been in that situation a whole bunch. Usually when they get behind in games in the fourth quarter, they haven't been able to pull them out. And I think, the difference is really just the confidence and the belief that all the guys had on the sideline. Really, I mean, I looked around and I didn't see any panic, and guys did a really good job of staying together and communicating with each other in a positive way. And I think that's a big difference from where we were even a year ago. But never mind those guys that have been here for 2 and 3 years. I think those guys really believed in what was going to happen.
And specifically with Kalen, just a workhorse every week it seems like. What makes him so good at that position?
I mean, he's got great vision. That obviously helps. He's got a good initial burst. He's strong. He doesn't go down on the first tackle, 90% of the time. If he can get past level 1, he's going to be a bear for any secondary to try to tackle one-on-one because he's a big guy and he runs pretty physical. But I think just his knowledge of everything that we're doing, blocking schemes, those types of things, they all help running backs become really good players. And, he's gotten to that point where he knows what everyone's doing, so it kind of helps him.
Getting to, I guess, UCA, they've also got a running back that's pretty good. I think he's 2nd in the country in yards. What specifically with their running game, what do you see, and then just with them as a whole?
They're a physical team. They're big. Both lines are big. They got a NFL caliber outside linebacker. They have a running back that's super dynamic and they're big, so he kind of hides behind them and then explodes out into the secondary. He's a challenge. He's going to be a challenge for us for sure. We got to get him down on the ground. We got to wrap him up. We got to rally to the ball. We got to slow him down from getting vertical because against anybody they've played, if he's gotten vertical, he's usually put it in the box. So we've got to do a really good job of making them go sideways and then try to rally 11 guys to them and get them down on the ground. But, defensively, they're a gritty bunch. Their front is really good. Their corners are long. They're going to get in your face and play some man-to-man. So, we're going to have to be efficient. We're going to have to get first downs. If we play behind the sticks like we did this last week, there probably won't be a shot in the game that we have to win. So we have to play on time and make sure that we stay on schedule from a down and distance standpoint and hold the ball a little bit, keep it out of their hands. That's kind of what they do. So it's be strength for strength.
You obviously the longest road trip of the year, and you're breaking the trip up. Explain the travel.
We're just going 2 days, going Thursday night, driving halfway, and not a little bit more than halfway, Texarkana, and then getting up in the morning, doing our meetings and walkthrough, and then heading up the rest of the way. We're actually staying in Little Rock, I believe.
Any other questions for Coach?
I know you said you like that playing on the road, that road mentality. I think after the game you talked about a road win is kind of the next step for this program. How do you get that done, and what would a win do for the team that's kind of streaking right now?
Well, I know one thing, we can't turn it over. You go there and you'll start a feeding frenzy if you allow that to happen. So we got to make sure we take care of the ball, both in the throwing game and obviously carrying the football. And if we can create some turnovers, that would really help us, create some short fields against a really good defense. I'm sure they're saying the same thing. And then what it would mean to us, for us, it's sort of a one-game mentality, but this is definitely the biggest one on our schedule up to this point. And, we're going to have to go there and play our best football in order to walk away, their home field. They got all the things going in their favor. They should have probably beat Arkansas State in the first game. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us. But, it's a great measuring stick for our program and where we are and what we need to do to be on a national stage.
Real quick, back to Saturday, just talk with the crowd. It was just dynamic out there. Biggest crowd so far in the year.
Yeah, it was good. It was loud too, and most of them stayed till the end. So, I would have probably left at halftime if I was them. At down 10-0, I would have been like, "Yeah, see you guys." But no, they were great. The student section again just continued to grow and looked pretty full as we looked up in the stands, and they were into the game, so it was fun to see. And just excited to keep building on that, for homecoming.
Coach, one question about Saturday as well. I think there was a little question about their band maybe playing longer than they should have. Did you guys notice that, and how does that affect the game, or did you even notice it at all?
No, I didn't really notice it. Our band's usually off when we come out, with 6 minutes, and they were kind of just finishing up, so it really wasn't that big of a deal.
Even during like plays as well. Did you guys?
Yeah, there's to be honest with you, there's no reason to have a visiting band in your stands. They're playing while we're on offense, so that's not good. So, but it was fine. We practice with loud music every day, so our guys are kind of used to that.